Yes, welcome to the Pro Wrestling Weekly podcast. Yes, my name is Broken Josh Burrell, and tonight, me and my brothers, Brother Nation and Brother Reapers, we will become the podcast of gold. Delete, 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 delete.
The green light because I'm ready to go. Welcome, guys, to Pro Wrestling Weekly, the podcast where we talk almost weekly about the world of professional wrestling. I am your host, Steve, also known as Steve the Reaper. Follow me on Twitter, which will be in the description down below. Let's get right into this podcast episode. So, Haydn, unfortunately, could not be with us today. He is feeling under the weather, so send him a nice tweet at Town Nation in the description down below. But we are not alone, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with the guy, not Roman Reigns, Josh Morrell.
Well, I've come up with a new nickname, and how can it not be true? I am the guy. Roman Reigns does have a big of a intellect as me. You thought I was going to say something else, but I didn't because I'm not that dirty-minded. Thank you very much. But hello, I'm here.
There we go. So, kind of a news-ish episode. Not much of well, I guess it depends on what you think of interesting. But a bunch of news and a little story at the end. But first, we have to take care of some business. Haydn wanted to plug WrestleThon, and I am going to do his justice for him. So I'm going to pull up the promotional poster, and if I remind myself, I will include it in this video format on YouTube, so that way you guys can see as well. If you're on iTunes, then you won't be able to see it, but it's okay.
It'll be on the video. The video will be linked in the... Oh no, you can't click iTunes description links. Never mind.
So, if you're listening on iTunes, just head on over to my YouTube channel, Steve_Reapers with a Z. If you're on iTunes, then go ahead and look at the promotional poster. But WrestleThon, May 19th through the 21st, a 48-hour live stream fundraiser on twitch.tv. Playing new and retro wrestling, video games, help raise donations for Child's Play charity. I actually came across WrestleThon last year and watched their streams, and they're doing something for a very good cause. I am a fond believer in charity and video games. Like, that's a win-win right there. Along with it being wrestling video games too, which I've come to really like playing. So, if you guys can, join WrestleThon on May 19th through May 21st on twitch.tv/WrestleThon. They will greatly appreciate it. Donations of all monetary value are welcome. And yeah, it's going to a very great cause, and I am proud to help promote such a great cause for charity. It's really awesome to see that.
And definitely, not to coin the franchise from Tesco's, which is obviously a supermarket here, but every little does help with all these charities that WrestleThon is supporting. Even if you could donate £1 or $1, whatever, however much you can, it would be greatly appreciated by the guys and by us. And if you do donate by us telling you to go to the WrestleThon stream, let them know and us know that you have donated, and we'll give you a special shout out on the podcast as well. I'm sure they will on their stream as well. So every little helps, every little donate is appreciated. So yeah, if you do, thank you. We appreciate it. Even watching the stream, we also thank you for doing so as well. So
exactly.
Yeah.
And just to preface it, this isn't a sponsored promotion. We are doing this out of the kindness of our heart. Like, for me, I'm a big believer in charity. I go to an Out of the Darkness walk for suicide prevention, and we raise a bunch of funds for suicide awareness and to instill curriculum into schools for the counselors to use to know how to approach a situation if somebody's suicidal or depressed. So I know the impact that charity can have on a lot of people. So, like Josh said, if you donate, even if you watch, it's great that you are helping support such a great cause. So, let's get into the news. Oh, whoops. Hopefully Keemstar doesn't sue me for that one. Jokes. Love them. So first up, Dash Wilder, one half of the Revival, is injured. He's got a broken jaw, and he's got to get it stitched shut.
Well, it could be the injury curse of 2017, from 2016, transferring over. Because a lot of people are getting injured in 2017 already.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen people like Austin Aries with the eye socket. That
was 2016, but I'll give you... You can't technically injured in 2016, but I'll give you a pass.
Okay. Well, still, 2016 getting into 2017.
Oh, yeah. If you're talking about WrestleMania to WrestleMania, then yeah, definitely. That definitely does count.
There we go. And then I'm pretty sure Cedric Alexander's out with an injury still.
Yeah, that's sad. He was just put in such a shitty storyline with Alicia Fox. And Noam Dar, which also deserves it. Obviously, the last week, the run with the Cruiserweights, I don't want to get into that again, but that's just... Every time I mention that, I always have to watch the Cruiserweight Classic match to get the bad taste of the 205 Live angles out of my mouth. So, No, and it's a shame because I'm going to be going to SmackDown, and obviously I will be seeing, I think, 205 Live. It'd just be depressing mind you, there'll be a Nakamura match probably at the end, which no one will get to see except for my vlog if you go and watch it when it comes out. But that'll be on May 7th, I think. Don't quote me on that. Maybe May 10th. I don't even know. But yeah, no. The sad state of 205 Live.
Yeah. Well, maybe this will kind of boost your spirits. I watched NXT this past Wednesday, and Jack Gallagher and Tyler Bates will be competing for the United Kingdom Championship on NXT this coming Wednesday. So we all know that.
That'd be decent. Yeah. NXT is getting back to its glory days, and I like to see. I like this.
Yeah. So it's good to see that somebody like Jack Gallagher, who's been put in not so great positions with 205 Live so far, get a shining moment. I'd like to think of this as a shining moment.
Jack Gallagher needs to transfer to the UK division, maybe. If it gets, because obviously it's going to have its own show, but they're hopefully not going to be involved with Raw or SmackDown. The only really promotion I want them gelling with really is NXT. Maybe Pete Dunne as a special selection to go to Raw or something. But the rest of them can really just stay on their own product. So then they all can go to indie events as well. So more people, I know their booking prices go way up, but it's better for them to stay on the independent scene in the UK. Not going on television or anything, but just doing their thing in their comfort zone as well as the WWE umbrella. It's best for business, just to coin that horrible term.
Very true. I feel almost kind of disrespectful for not mentioning this first, but we had a passing in the wrestling industry. Matt Anoa'i, a.k.a. Rosie, passed away. You may know him from 3 Minute Warning.
That's the only thing I remember him from.
Fair enough. He's Roman Reigns' brother, but, Yeah.
Can I address this quickly? Sorry to interrupt, but whoever is throwing death threats at Roman Reigns, I know I have spread my hatred towards the character, but towards men? No, you're just sick in the fucking head. Like, no one. I would not wish the guy who plays Roman Reigns dead. Never. Because he's just a man working. I blame him entirely Vince, and I don't even wish him dead for the things he's done. And he's done more despicable shit, in the wrestling industry and personal life as well. But I just can't stand the people who are just throwing death threats at the not just the character but the man himself.
Yeah.
Like looking like he's responsible for killing Rosie. Like, no. I just needed to get that off my chest because I felt that was disrespectful.
No, just like
in the highest degree.
Yeah. Like that.
But yeah, rest in peace to Matt. Like, obviously didn't have the brightest of careers in wise of didn't get much push. In regard, 3 Minute Warning had a decent run, but all they did was attack people in under 3 minutes. So, and Goldberg destroyed them, so that basically destroyed that in regards to credibility. But when he was doing his stuff with Rosie, obviously they had the tag title run, but I just don't remember vividly what Rosie did, and that's unfortunate. But obviously you can go back on the network and watch it now. But it's still sad that a wrestler's died. But again, it's the death threats towards Roman. Well, just it has to go back to that because that's the only thing really I've gathered up from this. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and like some of the not so well wishes to his family, like his daughter and his wife, like that's an all new kind of type of low for wrestling fans, if you want to call them that, to go to. That's despicable, and I don't really understand the point of it. I think people take the Roman Reigns. I think they just take things way too seriously, or they legitimately hate Reigns, and there's no
doesn't warrant saying that they should die.
Oh, absolutely not.
Like, obviously, I know you don't mean that, but to someone who can rationalise talking to someone like that, no. Someone talk to me like that in the street, I'd punch him in the fucking face. For real, and not just fake wrestling, predetermined wrestling. Real, like fucking knuckles to face. You don't say that anywhere on social media, in real life, in the ring, in anywhere. Unless it's, well, storyline purposes, a bit touchy, but no, in real life, no. But again, no, to get this on a lighter note, well, lighter than wishing someone dead. But rest in peace, Rosie. Yeah,
rest in peace, Rosie. Thank you for all that you've contributed, no matter how big or small, to the wrestling business. So some interesting news came out over the week that Shelton Benjamin did not sign with the WWE. I have his tweet loading up right now. And it says, "Let me clear this up now. I am not signed to WWE. I never signed due to injury. While that could change as of April 16th, 2017, I am a free agent." So I think this confused a lot of people, being as there were vignettes on SmackDown Live last year of Shelton Benjamin returning. So I think, in a sense, it could be Shelton Benjamin not limiting himself, or he's just yanking all of our strings and he is signed. But, you know, no reason to not believe him. And injuries are legitimate. He seriously could not have signed the contract unless he passed their physical exam, which is totally understandable.
He's medically cleared, apparently, according to his What Culture interview, which apparently he's a big fan of them, which I did not see coming, if that's actually true. But in their interview at, I think, WrestleThon in Florida, he said he wasn't signed with WWE, which is the truth, I feel. And his injuries were legitimate, of course. So WWE does have a right to terminate the clause if client is said injured for a long period of time. Obviously, the allotted period of time was too long for the signing process to actually go through. So they terminated his contract, which legally they have a right to do. So, is it right? Not really, because I would have loved to see him straight back into WWE like right away. But things don't happen that way. Like for the story we're talking about later, like even if they have signed, it could be weeks before they debut on TV. More weeks. So I hope he will sign. Will he sign? I don't know. He may want to go back to New Japan. He may want to go back to the Indies. He may want to go back to Ring of Honor. He may even want to go to TNA. But we'll have to see. It's up to him, no one else.
Exactly.
And his agent, of course.
He's truly a phenomenal athlete. I think he would kind
No
of
funny
help.
thing.
Yeah, I think he would help boost up whatever roster he joins, and he would kind of help give the younger viewers a taste of what Shelton Benjamin used to do in a WWE ring. So I think it'd be.
I was going to say, still go.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
did Japan for a few years. He can definitely still go in WWE.
Oh, for sure.
That's a limited style compared to Japan.
Exactly.
Well, depending on what promotion you're wrestling, either Noah or New Japan. So, which Noah's now a part of TNA.
Yeah, I read that. I think there's a lot of mergers going on. I saw something. I don't know if it was two Mexican wrestling promotions, but AAA.
AAA and the Crash.
There you go.
Which is Conan's promotion. So that makes sense because Conan is now employed by TNA.
So
in the LAX faction, which I'm sort of glad that faction's back because that's the faction I remember while watching TNA, and probably because that's one of the best theme songs in TNA.
it's very interesting to see all these mergers happening.
Yeah.
It's almost...
Oh, and obviously Jeff Jarrett's company, which I'm not surprised by this merger, but they should have done it sooner. GFW is basically no more. So does that make Cody Rhodes a TNA Next Gen champion, or Impact Wrestling or whatever?
Well,
So they can't have two women's belts.
right.
They can't have, well, I'm guessing the Next Gen's the X Division, so they're going to merge them two into the X Division. The tag team obviously will sort out itself, and then the world title obviously will be contended in a title unification match. Because why not? Because they want to copy WWE in almost every way. So, yeah, TNA.
Sorry to cut you off there, but
What
about the Grand Slam champion? Because that seems like the world heavyweight title of WWE.
I was going to say the grand title is basically the MMA title, if you want to call it. It's contested in a round system. So, like, if you get the first, I think it's pinfall submission straight away. But if you don't win in the allotted, I think it's 5 minutes each round. So it's basically going to like the World of Sport type. Well, that's why TNA's partnered with World of Sport. Probably, but I'll talk about World of Sport later on. But because I possibly might be doing a documentary on British wrestling for college, so I'll be happy to develop that when that becomes more available. But it's TNA and is in a rough spot right now with their Grand Championship because not many people really know what's going on. Obviously, you don't. You thought it was the world title, which it wasn't. That design was set to be the world title because they changed the plate on it because people leaked it as the world title and they scrapped the idea of it being the world title and just changed it to Grand. Just putting a metal plate over it says Grand.
Well,
so
my confusion wasn't that it was the world title. I was making a comparison to it being like the second major title of WWE, like how when they did the brand split in 2011 or whatever that was, and they had the WWE title and world heavyweight title.
But the worst mistake in the world. I like this. I like the guy, but putting it on whatever his name was in TNA, I'm just going to call him by his WWE name, Damien Sandow. It's just a horrible mistake. Because he looked like he didn't want to be the champion, he didn't want to be there. And he was wearing this ugly, baggy shirt, and he looked a bit pudgy, looked like he put a little bit more weight on. Obviously, before he left, he looked a bit slimmer than he, mind you, might have put on more weight, I don't know. But he probably might not have, but might have been banging some weights. I was needing to say something, substance in, but I'm not going to go there. Hopefully TNA does drug test their wrestlers. kind of to be a professional company they kind of do, I could out them for something they haven't done. Ooh. But TNA's just a mismatch everywhere right now. The women's division sucks. Like, that went from Gail Kim and Awesome Kong to Rosemary and a few jobber divas that I don't even know the name of. So, their women's division's in tatters, where it was the opposite way around, say, in 2008, when the women's division was great on TNA but was poor on WWE. So, TNA need to get their crap together before they even think about doing live events in October, November.
Agreed. So speaking of TNA, Maria Kanellis and Mike Bennett have reportedly signed with the WWE. Now both of them are former TNA stars, and Maria has been a part of the WWE before as a interviewer, I'm pretty sure. I think she might have gotten into wrestling at some point.
She did. I think she was a women's champion at one point.
Oh, well, there we go.
I don't know. But her most notable segment to me was when Mr. McMahon was trialling Eric Bischoff, for basically leading up to Eric Bischoff being taken off TV / fired by Vince, and then him dumping him in the trash, literally throwing him into a trash truck.
Yep.
Yeah, I was seeing it. I thought Vince helped. Vince did blow.
Vince said, "Take out the trash," and Cena AA.
I have to go and rewatch that on the network, because I'm sure Vince lifted him in and put him actually in the truck. I'm sure, but because I remember watching it live, that's the thing. But I could be wrong. But the segment in the courtroom with her acting all like the flicking the hair gimmick, and then her coming out with this brilliant speech, and then going back to hee stuff like that. That was just the way that, like, then they could, I know people say, "Oh, it was scripted better because it was TV-14," but no, we didn't. It wasn't rated here in this country. No TV shows are rated except films. But yeah, no, it was. I thought it was comedy gold at the time. People probably say it's absolute dog crap now, and I probably might, but it wasn't then. If you know what I mean. As a child, but I wasn't that. Well, I don't know how old I was, but probably 8 years old or something like that. So yeah, that was good. But yeah, I'm glad to see hopefully Maria coming back. Mike Bennett, I'm not too sure of. How will he? Well, will the fans know who he is?
That's a tough one, because I barely know who Mike Bennett is. All I know is that he's
kind of do, only because of his Ring of Honor tag team stuff with Fish, Bobby Fish, I think his name is. Is it Red Dragon? No, someone else. But no, Mike Bennett and Bobby Fish, I think it was the two. They won the IWGP titles, tag titles, of course. That's all I can remember. But I hope he gets. Obviously, he can't be called the Miracle in WWE. So, what are they going to call him? What's the gimmick going to be? Are they going to change his name? Are they going to keep him with Maria? Because they could possibly split him up.
Yeah. That's the thing with the whole entire brand split. I don't know where Maria would go. I don't know where she would make much of an impact.
Yeah, I'll get it. I'll get your joke. It wasn't meant to be a joke. They just come from Impact, yeah? No. I don't know. Because now people saying that they're going to SmackDown, I can't see them anywhere else. Because Raw's not going to care about Mike Bennett. Like, only the hardcore fans, the only really fans that watch SmackDown now. Well, mind you, it does get good ratings, but it doesn't really matter. They dropped this week, but that's not the point. Yeah, I can only see them really fitting on SmackDown Live, to be honest. Be nice to see Maria again live.
Yeah.
So I prefer her to go to SmackDown if she does come in within the next few weeks. Maybe even debuting, returning at London. That'd be nice.
Do you think that they're gonna stick her with the old gimmick that she had?
No. No, considering now she's been on mainstream television with The Apprentice, and well, that was when Donald Trump was in it. And she's been on Business News, and now she's been all over the Indies with the serious gimmick. It's just going to be a conflict of interest when they if they put her with the dumb blonde gimmick again. I'm not saying all women, but oh god, I've probably offended someone by saying that.
Just here, let me help you out here. We believe that not all blondes are like that, okay?
No, not all, no, definitely not, no.
It's a very poor stereotype.
Most are smart.
Yeah. It's a very poor stereotype put on by society, and we do not believe in that stereotype.
Society is wrong. Yes, society is wrong. Thank you. Thanks, good save. But no, I think it's a dumb idea to put her with that gimmick that she had before, because she's added on many of other things that are not WWE, like Fox. I think I don't know, where she revealed the story about Trump's how do I say it? Displeasuring experiences towards employees, maybe to women. I think it was brought up in that interview, but there you go.
Oh, she was one of them?
I don't know. That she never confirmed nor denied that on the set. I think there was a recording of something or another that was derogatory towards something or some other. But anyway, let's not talk about Trump. Let's talk about someone. Unfortunately, he's involved with wrestling, but not, thank goodness not only a little bit. But I will look forward to their return. I'm not excited about it. I'm not jumping up my seat. But it's great, I guess. More bodies to add to the WWE roster, which they desperately need, to be honest. That's why I should have said they should have signed Kota Ibushi. Whatever brand Kota Ibushi is on, I would watch immediately on WWE. But unfortunately, Kota didn't want to sign, so that's the only pitfall about it. But we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully, Kota does come around, but that is the only signing that I will jump out of my seat for and mark out for. Except unless a major signing from TNA broke their contract and came in, which I don't think many other, rather than James Storm, would do so, because he needs to leave that company.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused. Like, we saw James Storm for a short while last year or 2 years ago on NXT, and then he was gone.
Two appearances, I think.
Yeah, he was like the Drifter.
Oh dear.
Man, the Drifter's cool. Don't. We've had this conversation in past podcasts. I stick with my point that the Drifter is cool. His entrance theme is cool. I like him. He's better than the.
Do you know there was a reason why everyone in the NXT Takeover London crowd was dead when he came out? There's a reason for that.
Because they think he's boring, and I will respect the great people of London's opinion.
And myself.
Yes.
I was dead.
But I'm going to stick with my opinion, because that's what makes
She's wrong.
Diverse.
She's wrong.
Oh, see, that's where we have some conflict there, Josh.
He will be dropped from Raw. He will go back to NXT within a matter of a year at least.
Don't you mean he'll drift?
Most.
He'll drift to
he will drift into Raw, and he'll drift right back out because he'll get too scared when Braun Strowman comes around and then it'll be seen that he's wet his trousers because Braun Strowman walked past.
Speaking of Braun Strowman, I know that this wasn't on the topics, but can we talk about him real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, Braun Strowman is getting a pretty good push
for Roman Reigns to destroy him.
Oh yeah, there's that downside.
Yeah, there's a little thing, a blip on the calendar called Payback. I think it's kind of common.
Oh wait, yeah,
So,
Payback's in like a week or so, is it not?
yeah, week and a bit, yeah.
Oh. Huh.
So, we've got a Raw pay-per-view to look forward to with a SmackDown guy on it. Or two SmackDown guys, Orton and Owens.
Yeah, that's
Which the Orton match is just a cluster muck of is it for the title, is it not?
Yeah. That's why
I would like it for it not to be, even though Randy Orton's next opponent is Jinder Mahal.
We'll get into Jinder Mahal in just a second. I'm
Mm-hmm.
saving that one for second to last on the topic list, but
Mm-hmm.
Orton and Bray Wyatt, the House of Horrors match. Well, okay, let me ask you this, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
You're normally good with predicting things, as,
Mm-hmm.
for example, the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the House of Horrors match is going to be? Because we have no idea what it is.
It'll either be a mix or two of it actually being contested in a haunted house, which would be fucking amazing. Or I can see WWE going the cheap-ish route of it making it an Inferno and something else added to it match.
Ooh, I just thought of something. What if...
Mm.
This kind of takes a page out of Final Deletion, but what if they went to the lot where Sister Abigail's place of
Joe, what they
was?
probably will. I think that's smart, but as it's a Raw pay-per-view, I would like them just to breeze over House Hardy. just like intimately put that Bray Wyatt and Nat Hardy are on the same brand. And the fact that the broken gimmick could come into WWE as soon as SummerSlam, that is a possibility of it being wonderful. Yes. And broken and I don't know what Wyatt's thing is, but basically broken and Wyatt, that could be great. Obviously, not going to get as much camera action as we did on TNA's product, but at least the actually good camera work from WWE would make it more special to watch, rather than the Final Deletion or Total Non-Stop or Delete or Decay or whatever. But I don't know. I don't know what this match is going to entail. To be honest, I can't really predict it because it's not a set in stone match really. So I don't know. But I am excited to see it. That's probably the only match I'm looking forward to at Payback, because there's no world title match because Brock Lesnar's fucked off. But well, the next time we'll probably see the world title is SummerSlam. Earliest maybe might be Extreme Rules, but it just sucks that I know that's not related to the Raw pay-per-view calendar, but the SmackDown pay-per-view calendar. Why is Money in the Bank exclusive to SmackDown?
Yeah, that really doesn't make any sense.
Right. What, can the SmackDown guy cash in on the Universal Champion? That doesn't seem fair. Maybe the Raw Money in the Bank might be contested at SummerSlam. Make the SummerSlam card feel a lot more better as it's now, as well as WrestleMania, 4 hours of pay-per-view.
Right. I'm wondering if they do like two separate Money in the Banks. Like, I know Money in the Bank is a SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view now, but going to your suggestion of having it at SummerSlam, I think that could be interesting.
I just wish they'd got rid of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view altogether and done it at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Like, it makes no sense. Why would you make a separate pay-per-view? I think that's what added to the specialness of WrestleMania, because you have that thing in the back of your head.
First Money in the Bank ladder match was stacked. You had Edge, you had guy who should not be named, you had Kane, you had Chris Jericho, you had Shelton Benjamin, who we mentioned earlier. Loads of talent, proper talent, including the guy who shall not be named. Oh, screw it, I'm just going to be controversial here. Chris Benoit. So, yeah, dead silence. Look, that's inappropriate to say. Yeah. Oops. But yeah, no. Yeah, the first ladder match. Excuse me for my background noise in plugging in the charger. But oh yeah, sorry for no background noise if Steve didn't say that earlier.
I didn't, because there's no background noise this time around.
There was now, so I apologise.
That's all good.
It's just the Money in the Bank ladder match to me has lost luster. It just needs to be on a big stage like WrestleMania. I know that because they like having to put at least one ladder match at WrestleMania each year. Why just not replace the ladder match by having the match that's for the briefcase, which is apparently the most prestigious things beside winning the belt, because it gives you a shot of winning the belt. And it'd be nice to see someone winning it at WrestleMania and then cash it in that same night.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, say Seth, because Seth is already now the first to cash in at WrestleMania and win.
I was just about to mention that, so I'm glad you're bringing this up.
So maybe say if Braun Strowman wins the Raw one and then completely demolishes everyone and wins the Universal title on the same night, that's going to become believable and then make the Money in the Bank more prestigious, because you can win it on the same. You can win the title on the same night and be in the main event of WrestleMania. Your last chance ticket to the main event, you know, because it kind of is, if you want it to be. So
imagine how much more special that Seth Rollins moment would have been if Money in the Bank was at WrestleMania and he cashed in. I think that would have just been absolutely...
would have blown the roof off that place.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, there's no roof, but I get your metaphor.
I wanted to coin that term. You can't coin that term. By the way, just a random mention from what I saw on my feed. The WWF used to have a radio station. Why don't they now?
Because
radio's too important, damn it.
Yeah, I mean, you have the last professional radio broadcaster, Sam Roberts. I mean, he's still trying to get
but you have to pay to listen to him, effectively, with Sirius XM. So that doesn't count. Well, for us in the UK, we don't get Sirius XM unless we pay. So fuck that.
I just listen to his podcast. I don't tune into.
Yeah, that's free. But how long will that be? Considering people from podcasting / YouTube are pissing off because they can't. Not earning money is hurting their fees. So
let's not get into all that YouTube ad debacle. That's
well. I just wanted to express my disgruntledness.
Oh no, that's okay.
But no. Yeah, obviously I agree myself. The Money in the Bank match should be moved back to WrestleMania, but will it? No, probably not.
Imagine this. It gets moved to WrestleMania. You have a guy like Shinsuke Nakamura win, and then he cashes in the same night.
That'd make him. Completely. In the eyes of the smarks and probably the kids. Because he's been seen as a megastar because he was the first. He would be the first to cash in at WrestleMania from winning it at the same night, maybe an hour or two earlier.
Exactly. So.
But no, I don't know whether they're going to do it or not.
Yeah.
The indication of this event saying they might next year, but we've been saying all year that we've been wanting them to move it, and in surveys we've been putting the fact that it should have been at WrestleMania. But if they listen to us, no.
Nope.
Will they ever listen to us? Maybe. But I think you have no chance.
Vince listens to the casual fans.
Yeah, because that's the only ones that make them money, but that's not the truth, because I spend, same at a live event, I spend about nearly £200-ish on an event. No, that's probably a bit, I don't know, maybe. It might not be exactly a push, but that's a lot of money to spend. And, well, mind you, when I'm going to SmackDown, my friend kindly provided it to me as a birthday present. I'm sitting in the restaurant, I was getting text saying, do you want to go to SmackDown? And I said, duh. So, yeah, no, yeah, he's great. But no, I spend a lot of money when I go to live events, especially in the arena as well, not just WWE stuff. So I'd like to be listening to a little bit more, considering I go to mostly every O2 event. It's an hour to get to the O2 as well. So that's all the diesel or petrol or whatever you call fuel in America. But yeah, it takes a long time to travel, and especially, well, actually, no, when I'm going to SmackDown, I'm going by train. Just costs money to go by train. It's going to test my patience because I hate public transport with a fucking passion, especially in London. I shouldn't really say that, but hopefully no one recognises my face there. But yeah, it's an arm and a leg to get there. So I'd like the WWE to appreciate their highest paying fans just a little bit more, considering I'm also considering a trip to their biggest event of the year next year on my birthday. So I'd like them to treat us with a little bit more respect. That's just my personal opinion.
Well, hate to burst the bubble, I think there's no chance of that ever.
Yeah, I know, but that's just me getting my feelings displayed.
Feelings have been displayed and interpreted.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know where I was going with that, so I'm rolling with it. So let's talk about these number one contenders. So first one, Raw. Alexa Bliss. My girl. I shouldn't say that because Buddy Murphy beat me to the punch, but she's the new...
He put a ring on it.
Oh.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. I recollect an interview with Gorilla Position, so yeah, definitely.
Part of my heart just got crushed in a matter of 2 seconds.
Rusev will help you with that. He will crush you.
And Becky Lynch is taken too. She's dating that UFC fighter. So,
yeah, possibly. I don't know.
Oh, sad times for Steve with women crushes. It's great. Anyway, so she's the new number one contender for the Raw Women's Championship, which means she's gonna face Bayley at Payback. So,
hope she wins the fucking thing.
yeah, I almost said she deserves. She earns it. She's earned it.
Considering she didn't win the NXT Women's Championship, mind you, that belt doesn't deserve to be touched by anyone now. Wherever that belt went and been. Yeah, let's not rehash that stuff.
Yeah.
With a certain P word of a wrestler that may not be employed, but she might not be employed by WWE much longer. But yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that debacle with the title belt, but yeah, I hope she wins it at Payback. I've got a feeling she won't the first time, because if they let Bayley win against Charlotte, broke her pay-per-view streak, and went over at WrestleMania, I don't think she's losing it that quick to a newcomer. Maybe she might. I hope she does.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
I'm hoping so. I mean, Alexa Bliss was the second SmackDown Women's Champion, so that.
But
was
I can't see Bayley losing the belt until she goes against Sasha at SummerSlam in Brooklyn, or maybe she loses the belt to Sasha before then Sasha turns heel, and then to SummerSlam where it all began.
What if they did a triple threat between Alexa Bliss, Bayley, and Sasha? Just for...
SummerSlam?
Yeah.
Nah. I think they'll do singles match if they're going to do anything. And Alexa would just be put in a meaningless tag match, unfortunately. Yeah. But if she wins the belt, I don't think it will be non-title, the Bayley versus Sasha, because all their fights have been for belts, so they're gonna have to keep the tradition. So
hopefully Alexa wins the title in the near future. I'd like to see her have gold around that waist once again. 5 feet
Well,
of fury.
Sasha's going to win it if she does. So Lex is not going to have it for long.
Listen, a man can dream, alright?
Well, she's going to win it, no doubt, but I don't think it's going to be just yet. If she does win it in Payback, it's not going to be for too long. Sasha's going to win it, and then their personal rivalry outside the ring will continue.
That's not funny, Josh.
Well, truth. The truth's not supposed to be funny, Steve.
It's like one of those awkward funny things, you know, like you find it slightly funny, but you know you can't laugh at it, and it's not supposed to be funny, but it is.
Right. I see.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Mm.
I was gonna say I'll mark out if she wins at Payback, just like how I marked out when Becky Lynch finally got that SmackDown Women's title, or a Women's title.
I was gonna say, like, she was the first SmackDown Women's Champion.
Yeah,
damn
that's what
it.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
So hopefully we see her with the title again sometime soon. I'd like to see that.
Mm-hmm.
So our next number one contender, baby. For the WWE Championship, hold on. SmackDown Live. The number one contendership match. We had Luke Harper. We had Eric Rowan. We had Sami Zayn. We had Baron Corbin, I'm pretty sure. We had Jinder Mahal. We had Mojo Rawley. And the
Baron Corbin versus AJ Styles at that night in the main event.
So who was the other person in that match then?
I don't know. I will look that up.
Okay. And the number one contender, I've been saying this since 2016 of last year. And here, hold on. I'm going to go on Twitter right now and look up the hashtag that I used and watch people actually use it, even though I was...
Dolph Ziggler.
Oh, okay, so Dolph was in there. See, that's good to see.
Doesn't mean he won.
No, that's true. That's very true.
Oh dear, it's playing behind him mod.
I'm guessing that... I'm guessing the tweet got deleted. But anyways, in 2016, I had tweeted, I had seen a rumor that said that this man would return to the WWE and be in a big push scenario. And it finally happened. Push Gender 2017 has arrived. Don't hinder Gender. Jinder Mahal is the number one contender for the WWE Championship with the help of the Bollywood Boys. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the new era. This is 2017 in the WWE, when people like Mojo Rawley are number one contendership matches, and people like Jinder Mahal are going to be in a WWE title match. What a time to be alive.
No comment.
And that wasn't sarcasm. I actually feel somewhat optimistic. I am actually going to throw a party if Jinder Mahal wins the WWE title at Backlash.
That'll be a lonely party with your house being covered in eggs.
I will purchase a 3-man band t-shirt if those are still around on WWE Shop.
Nope.
I will then purchase apparel that's Jinder Mahal's apparel and wear it around.
Okay, it's your prerogative.
I will design a shirt that says hashtag Don't Hinder Gender.
I'm sure you'll get sued by WWE if you release that publicly.
I'll just print it off for myself. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
It'll look so stupid too. It'll just be a plain white tee with spray paint that says hashtag Don't Hinder Gender.
I think that's a bad life choice if you do that.
Man, you know what's life without a few bad life choices? You know what I mean?
Well, the less you make, the better. So, he's only basically the backstory of this push basically is they're doing bad in India and TNA are doing better than WWE, so they need to push an Indian star and they're not bringing back the Great Khali. So,
oh god,
Jinder's the next best thing, which I would, to be honest, actually, yes, big offence. I would have preferred the Great Khali.
Oh, you can't,
Come at me.
no.
Come at me. Yes.
No.
Yes. This is actually a star. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I will have to disagree. The Great Khali didn't have that many moves.
I cannot stand Jinder.
I would gladly take Mr.
It's probably
Bane's
because he
Jinder
played in the
Mahal
past
over.
that shitty character in 2012 whenever he debuted. As the Great Khali's whatever family member. That just burned me in the past, so...
Well, yeah, that gimmick was stupid.
He can go and sit on a stool outside the arena and put a nice warm coat on so he doesn't freeze to death, but not in the arena. Thank you very much. I'd rather the Great Khali, the world champion.
Oh, come on.
You can quote that from this episode. Come out, bros, and women if they listen to this.
If so, slide into those DMs. I'm kidding.
No, my DMs are private unless you follow me. Unless I follow you.
Yeah, same. So, don't even try. Well, I mean, you can try, but, you know. Anyways, this topic got way out of hand. But still, it's an interesting age in the WWE. Like, people like Jinder Mahal, who were jobbers 3 years ago, are getting main event title matches.
It's because WWE want to conquer another continent. They haven't conquered yet. And the fact that TNA is conquering that continent already is killing them inside. So, the fact that TNA is doing successful somewhere is like a swear word to WWE. If you say that TNA is doing better business than them in some area, they'll get hives and explode.
Well, don't forget, Jinder Mahal also has those gains now.
Yeah.
All kinds.
You don't want to know what action I was doing. I was pointing to my arm and yeah, no.
Oh, come on.
That does not look natural. I'm sorry.
Yeah, a lot of
if it is natural,
man.
fair play, but that does not look natural.
I
could say, was Hogan natural? No. Was Batista natural? No. Was John Cena natural before he got clean? No.
Before he got clean, that's kind of redundant. Okay. Was he natural before he got clean?
Because he basically went from a blow up Superman to a little bit less of a Superman, if you know what I mean, in muscles.
Yeah.
So get off that testosterone and you shrink somehow.
I love this.
You love testosterone? Steve takes steroids. Hashtag it.
Oh god, no.
I think you're too young to take them, and to even legally buy them in the United States.
Nah, man. All the
steroid shops are shutting down over here because of shady business. But there you go.
Trust me, people would know if I'm taking steroids. Like people would know.
Well, you could be for other things, for heart function, for brain function,
yeah, like actual medicine. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Steroids are not just pumping iron, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Stereotype.
I wasn't stereotyping. I had a temporary brain fart.
Exactly.
That's not.
But you're still stereotyping.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm not.
You better
my word.
People have to take it for health.
Actually,
Jinder, no. Just wake me up when Backlash ends, please.
Man,
and then if Jinder hasn't won, I will celebrate.
And if Jinder Mahal wins, I don't know.
I'm gonna quit watching SmackDown.
Oh, he's gonna be in a faction with the Bollywood Boys. It's gonna be the greatest thing. They're gonna face
that means he's not winning the belt then.
Nah, man. I see. Here's what I see. Okay, 2017. I see Jinder Mahal winning the WWE title from Randy Orton. I see the Bollywood Boys winning the SmackDown titles from either American Alpha, Primo and Epico, or the Usos. and they're gonna be the next greatest faction in the WWE. Mark my words.
Fat chance of that, considering AJ Styles and Baron Corbin are set to be one of the next challengers for Randy Orton. So I think Jinder has a 95% chance of losing.
I'll still take that 5%.
I'll give you 99.999999998% then. Calculate that, math magician.
Oh, I'm no math magician. Anyway, so.
No, get Jinder off my TV, please.
So, I have a little story to tell you, and it just goes along with how wrestling has touched people. So, I was talking to my physics teacher today during one of my hours. Left my class to talk to him, and some personal stuff going on. But we got onto the topic of this wrestling podcast, Pro Wrestling Weekly, and
they said I'm a disgrace to whole human society. I'll bet.
No.
Oh, good. Oh.
So.
Damn.
Yeah. So wait, hold on. What did you actually say? I want to know what I said no to.
Huh?
What did you say?
I didn't say no, I don't think. So,
Oh, Jesus, okay. So,
the British accents, and well, we created the English for you to use. You stole it. I'm not going to go to America versus Britain again, because obviously Britain will win because of tea. We do better tea, but there you go. No, go back to your story. It's interesting.
Okay. So, he had asked about the podcast and whatnot. We got into this like at least 10 to 15 minute conversation about wrestling. He used to watch, Hogan and Ultimate Warrior, and he watched a little bit of the Monday Night Wars, but he was more of that WWF guy. So
Good boy. Good boy. Or girl.
It's a dude. So
good dude.
It's just interesting, like, hearing him talk about all this and how it's like, oh yeah, remember this, and he'll. I hope he doesn't mind me sharing the story, because he told me he was going to listen to the podcast.
Dear.
So this weekend, I warned him.
I deeply apologise, sir, if my language offends you.
I already warned him, and he was cool with it.
Oh my good.
So
I still want to apologise if any of my language offends you. Please don't hurt me.
So like, he told me that him and his friend used to dress up as the Rockers, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, for Halloween. It's like,
how much did these outfits cost them?
Oh, I forgot what he said. It was somebody made the costumes for him.
Right.
So I was like, no way, that's awesome. So he actually also said he started watching when Undertaker debuted in 1990, and we got into this huge conversation about how Undertaker retired at WrestleMania this year. So it's interesting how the people that you talk to, in some way, shape, or form, they've been touched by wrestling, and I don't think many people admit to that, because wrestling has this negative connotation for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
But
because it's fake to
right.
regular people.
But
obviously it's not.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was finished.
Oh, okay. But like, having that connection and just talking about similar interests, it's like that. It's so weird, like how diverse the wrestling community can be, even with people that used to watch wrestling. It's mind-boggling to me.
And people that like can recall going to events, like my friend who is kindly taking me to SmackDown. His mum has been to SummerSlam '92, which was in London. I think that was the one. I was like, I said, you lucky fucker. Obviously, if I was alive, I would have killed to be there. Not literally, but that's English expression. Just so people don't take things literally.
Right.
I would have tried to be there as much as I can if I was alive. Obviously, I wasn't, but I wasn't even thought of back then. But in '92, but yeah, no, just hearing stories like watching the Macho Man and was it against Ric Flair? I don't know. No, it was Warrior. Ric Flair and Warrior and Savage, and then Brett versus Bulldog, of course. So, yeah. Bring a SummerSlam or WrestleMania to UK, please, WWE. Thank you, sincerely, everyone, every UK fan in the world. Yeah, every UK fan. Thank you.
So, thought I would share that story. I thought it was pretty wicked. As soon as I heard that, I was like, whoa, and told him that the podcast was on iTunes, and he has an iPhone now, so I think he's gonna listen to the podcast now and maybe subscribe. Do that favor for me, please.
And you should too.
Yes. For all those other listeners out there, you should subscribe on iTunes. But I'll go through my little ending spiel, and you'll hear this again. So bear with me. But I think that's as good of note as any to end this illustrious podcast episode. So
but before we go, I've just seen a GIF image of Stan Hansen giving one of the most wickedest clotheslines. I'm gonna give this to Steve so we can include it in the vid. But it's wicked. Stan Hansen can throw a wicked clothesline. Better than Bully.
There we go then.
If you know what I mean.
Oh man.
No, you can do ending spiel now.
Okay. Here, let me watch this real quick then.
It's on Larito's Twitter page. I'll send it to you to make it easier.
No, okay. I was gonna say it. There we go.
Jeopardy music playing now.
Now I'll just go through the spiel right now, and when I'm going through the spiel, I'll put up the GIF, or try to put up the GIF, as a part of the video of Stan Hansen giving a wicked clothesline. So, with that being said, I hope you guys and gals did enjoy listening to this episode of Pro Wrestling Weekly. 31 episodes. Crazy. If you did and you're on YouTube, please make sure to slam that like button below. Subscribe to make sure that this video gets in your sub box. Don't forget to follow all of us on Twitter for latest updates. Subscribe to Josh and Haydn. All their social media links and YouTube channels will be in the link in the description down below. If you are on iTunes, make sure you subscribe. Let all your friends and family know. That would be pretty cool, especially if they're wrestling fans. Also, real quick, we've been promoting this I shouldn't say like crazy, but we've been tweeting this out on the Pro Wrestling Weekly Wolfpack Twitter account. Ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you to ask questions about wrestling, whether it be in the iTunes reviews, or you're tagging us on Twitter, or you're leaving them if you're on YouTube, if you're leaving them in the comment section down below. I encourage all of you to leave a question, wrestling related. I don't really care what it is, as long as it's within decent limits. It's not too overbearing or offensive. That's all I ask. I want to get fans of the show involved, and if you do ask a question, I'll make sure to screenshot your username with the question and put it up on the YouTube version of Pro Wrestling Weekly. So it's a great way to get involved in the podcast and for your voice to be heard. So with that being said, hope you guys are having a great day. Thank you so much for hitting that download button if you're on iTunes, or clicking that video link on YouTube. And with that being said, we will see you guys in the next episode of Pro Wrestling Weekly. Peace.